John, what's up, Doug?
I like your hair.
Shoot, I like yours.
To what little there is. Yes, thank you.
You got something.
As the off season, as you left yet last year, knowing the status free agency of John and Daryl, I mean, could you have imagined the band getting back together and rolling in here for another run at it?
You know, that's a great question. But if you know Bean always has a plan. And I wouldn't put nothing past him. So for the outcome that we got last year, there was a reason for it. And I think that upstairs is what I call like the management and the GMs and stuff like that. The upper class upstairs, I feel like that they seen the chemistry of the guys and they didn't want any chinks in our armor. So the best way is going through the hard times with guys that we know and coaches know it. So they brought the band back. So some guys are going to play their drums. Some guys are going to play their guitar. Some guys are going to rock out.
Being mentioned at the end of last season, when asked about the running game, it was a collective effort in regards to why it wasn't necessarily where you guys had hoped it would be. From an offensive line standpoint, what are you focusing on now to whether you're changing something or whatnot to maybe correct some of the things that were an issue last year?
John, I don't want to be simple, but as you know, we just trying to be the best versions of ourselves individually, so it could be the best version collectively. And it's simply that, man. Like whether we have to throw the ball a million times, run the ball a million times, we don't really care. Whatever we have to do to get in the end zone, we're going to do it just on a confident level, you know? It's not about just running and making the running game the best in the country and making it the best. Nah, like we just have to do what we do well and just keep that foot forward. But, you know, the mindset is just being the best version of ourselves. And we're going to dial in, and we know where it could have been better, you know, but we're not perfect and we're not meant to be perfect. And we all know it. And this is a tough sport. And, you know, there's a lot of critics. So, you know, like we got as far as, and we did, and the world still says that, you know, the run game could have been this and could have been that. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, further than we've ever been.
As an offensive line, and I've never played offensive line, so this is why I asked, is there anything to, when you pass that much, it's harder to get back in the groove to run the ball? Or is there anything to that idea?
Well, another great question. As a wrench, you know, in a way, I guess analogy for it is what, like you're driving a stick shift every day and then you drive an automatic. Which one's easier? You know, but reps help. But what can we do, man? Like we have a quarterback that can throw. We have superstars that can catch. So I would want the ball in whose hands, and I would want the guy behind us doing what? Throwing it. So whatever we have to do to keep Josh protected, that's what it is. Whether it's running, passing, we don't care, man. We really don't care, and it doesn't matter. But of course, anything can affect and tip a scale on any form. That's just like saying, oh, I drink soda. Is the water side like going to be less, or is the water side like going to be more? Yeah, absolutely. If you drink more soda, there's going to be more water left. You know, it's just life.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Good to see you again.
Much love, bro.
I try to stay away from all the soda. I try to stay away from all the soda, big guy, and drink enough water as I can.
It's all right. You choose your own life kinks, you know? I'm a root beer guy.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Gotta have that mug. Gotta have that. Or A&W, either one's preferable. But
Loganberry.
Off season, man. Logan. Oh, well, you know that's a Buffalo thing all day, man.
Sure.
The O-line had a baby, man. This off season, man. Care to talk about the impressions of your new little brothers and how much being so close, basically one game away from that Super Bowl, how much of a bad taste did that leave?
So, sorry, Mook, I didn't really understand your question. So you said the O-line like had a baby, and when I think of that, I'm like, okay, so we drafted young guys. right? Is what you're like talking about?
Right. You got 3 little brothers. You got 3 little brothers. What are your impressions of your new 3 little brothers?
Yeah. So and the young guys are good. Big kids. Big kids. Like I mean, big kids. The size is definitely there. But the talent is definitely there, and the will is definitely there. And I'm extremely excited for these guys. And they all have great like personalities. They all listen, learn. They understand the playbook extremely well already. Bobby is doing a great job dialing into each and every individual one of them. And it's been going well, man. And I'm really, really excited to watch these kids grow. And they're here to take jobs, and they're here to put pressure on the older guys. And that's what this sport is all about. So I am happy to see where these kids go and their growth, you know, with making us better and us making them better.
Speaking of growth and making the community better, man, we know what your off season was like. I mean, you've been all over. Dion Dreamer, been diving into the communities all the way from your whole time in Rhineway to 10-year-olds in Ohio to couples getting married. That's Bills fans, and now it's Christmas in July, man. Care to talk about Dion Dreamers in Christmas in July?
Man, yeah. So if anybody like knows me, I'm big in the community, and I'm big with trying to put smiles on people's faces and just giving people things to do, honestly. And Tisha Parker, she's been helping me with everything, and the rest of my team, like they've been doing a great job. But Christmas in July, it's going to be a 716 day event. So as we know, 716 is the area code for Buffalo, but it'll be a 716 day, like a festival, but like type of thing where we're going to shut down a couple blocks on Hurdle. And we're going to have vendors like out there. There's going to be popcorn, ice cream, snow cones, like lit music, like all type of like fun stuff for people to get out and just celebrate Buffalo. Because as we all know, Buffalo does not get the recognition and the love that it should. And from me being here for the 5 years that I have been here, I have fully embraced Buffalo. So I consider myself Buffalo, and I just want Buffalo to shine, and for it to get the right shine that it needs and deserves. But Christmas in July, it will be extremely fun. I'm going to keep posting stuff about it on my Instagram and my Twitter. So just stay tuned, and please come out on 716.
Absolutely, man. Hey, welcome back to football, and enjoy Cat, man. I like
Thanks,
the hair,
bro.
by the way.
Much love, bro. Much love. Thank you.
Hey, Dion, John Worrell. I'm a stick shift guy myself.
For sure, John. I figured. Old school thing. You know, like that's a skill that most people don't have. So I salute you. You know,
fun to drive.
Facts.
But you talked about bringing the band back, and that's how you put it, and it shows a lot of faith that this team has showed in you guys. Yeah. Now the challenge becomes sustaining and improving. And how difficult might that be? What are the challenges now when it comes to that? When those numbers that this offense put up last year might be tough to top.
I mean, hey, John, like you've been doing this for a long time, and you've been seeing a lot of ball. You've been watching a lot of things. Like you see the roller coaster of an organization. And as you know, every year it just gets harder. So it won't be easy. Whoever's watching, don't look at every game like, oh, they're supposed to do do this. Like, listen, this is a hard sport. We play the hardest job in the world that I think so, because it's the only job that I really know besides shoveling snow. And it's just the way it is. And I truly think that every year it's just going to keep getting harder, the better that we get and the further that we get in the season and in the postseason. And it's not even, the thought is not even there, John, about topping last year. Because when it comes down to it, it's about wins and losses. We can have 50 yards running and 110 yards passing. As long as we get a win, none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. It comes down to W's and L's, and whatever play is called on offense and defense and special teams, we just have to execute it. And when that ticket is punched, we are looking to have a W at the end of every game, confidently, Buffalo Bill style. And it's simply that. Like there's nothing about topping. There's not like none of that. It's just wins and losses, brother.
And knowing that now the challenge, as you put it, gets tougher, does the mindset of the unit change, knowing it's been together and it's coming back? Does the mindset change in knowing that you have to accept, in how you accept the challenge that it's going to be tougher?
Well, the good thing is that is we all know what it takes, and we all know that the battle and the grind is going to be that much harder, and we all understand it. And the fact that we all understand it means that it's in front of us and we have eyes on it. So as long as we don't think it's going to be a cakewalk, which nobody does walking around in this building, we all know that, like, that was the message day one. It's not going to be easy. Trust the process. We all know it. But with us knowing that, it just gives us our best foot forward to do what we do confidently.
Thanks, Dion.
Yeah, appreciate you, John.
What's up, Dion? Thanks for taking some time. It's good to see you. I think Mookie asked you a little bit about this, but I'd like to ask you a little bit more about Spencer and Tommy specifically. You know, guys coming in. You were in their shoes, a few years ago, coming into the league. What are your impressions of them? Not only of them as people and as players, but like just the size. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. Two guys 6'8" like that coming in the same year. What have been your impressions so far?
Skilled, young but skilled. Overall impression is good guys. Like, even though that you just mentioned it, but for anybody that comes here, we already know that the guys like upstairs put them through the filter of what type of guys and they are, because they know the type of guys that they have in Buffalo. So with them being here, we already know that there are good guys deep down. And I just think that the rookies are gifted, man. They are extremely gifted. That size is special. It's hard to come by. And I'm just glad that we have it, because when it's their time, whether it's tomorrow or whenever it might be, they're going to do exactly what they're here for, and they're going to be something special when it's all said and done.
Unbelievable turnout for your team as one of the team leaders. I mean, why is that? I mean, this is a group that, it's no secret that the veteran leadership in the building, but the turnout here for OTAs, I mean, a voluntary workout it's pretty special. What's your impression of that?
So you're basically speaking on the fact that the whole team is here, basically, right? Right. So like that just shows that we want to win. Like, we're still human too. We have families. Whether we started early, started like on time, started a few weeks later, the guys that are here know what it takes, what we need to do day in, day out. And teams are built when we're together. It's just that in some situations, we just want our off season to be respected in certain ways. Just if it's a couple of extra weeks, if it's just a couple more days that we get time to ourselves, then we can come back and dial in. That helps. And that's what our coaches and our GM helped us do. And because they did that and respected us for it, we're here. And we're here because we want to be, and we're here because we want to win. And we respect those guys, because those guys have given us jobs to play the best sport in the world. So, it's a respect thing as well. If they want us here, shoot, we here, man. Like, this is what and we do, and we're supposed to be here, so we're here.
And just for clarity, you mean adjustments like to other parts of the off season, so that you guys would show up here now? Like
a here and there, the type of thing. Like, all right, and we'll give today off, but just make sure and that you're here when you're supposed to be here. And that's the dialogue and the respect that we have from the coaches to the players, that we can actually even speak about that and be comfortable speaking about that and getting whatever needs to be solved. And the coaches do a great job of taking care of us. And it has showed this offseason that they have taken care of us. That's why, and we're here to take care of them, so we can go ahead and win and keep them confident that we're still a part of what they have going on, or what we all have going on. Better said than done.
Good to see you, man.
Yep. Thank you, brother.
Hi, Dion. It's Jay Skursky with the Buffalo News. Thanks for doing this today.
Skursky.
You backed up a pretty strong season, or backed up a contract extension with a pretty strong season. How important was that for you to make sure that there was no sort of noticeable dip or complacency to set in after you got a contract extension?
Jay Skursky. Let me tell you something, right? In this league, you got to perform. You know, they pay you, perform. They don't pay you, perform. The one word that is consistent is perform and being available, right? As long as I perform, keep my mind on the team and myself, the rest of that stuff comes into play. When I got paid, I took it personal to be at a certain level and higher that I held in myself too. And I'm just dark, man. Like, I'm gonna just keep doing what I can do to the best ability that, and I can. It won't be perfect, as we all know. I make mistakes too, but I take it personal. And I love my team, and I love Josh. And my job is to protect Josh. So because I love Josh, I protect Josh, and whatever comes with it, comes with it. But if you're saying I did a good job, I appreciate you. I have to do better. You know, I'm no Pro Bowler, no All-Pro guy. I got to do way better. You know what I'm saying? And as long as Josh can do what he's doing, I'm okay. You know, I'm fine. But I appreciate that compliment, and I don't know how to take compliments, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you sort of touched on what I was going to ask you next. You know, offensive line is such a collective position. You always talk about the group, but individually, I'm sure you have goals and aspirations for yourself, whether those be, you know, Pro Bowls or all pro teams, things like that. You know, last off season, you talked about how part of your training involved like biking a lot of different miles and things like that. And things that you were doing to individually improve your performance. What have you focused on this offseason, and how do you take that next step in your own individual game to reach those levels that you just talked about?
Simply just self-growth. I have to be the best version of myself, truly, and meaning that the rest of the stuff comes, all of the bike riding and stuff like that. That's just a part of training and crafting and my body and my conditioning. But I think it comes down to being the best version of myself. So the rest will show. Like, as long as I just end every play this season with the plus and not a minus, I'll be fine. And mind, growth, and body, and simply those things. And that's nothing physical. It's all mental. That I'm the best, and I'm the best version of myself. And I'm gonna just keep crafting at it. I'm obviously not perfect at it, but I'm gonna keep crafting at it, whether it's reading, talking to older guys, talking to vets, talking to and retired guys, just asking questions that people might not think that I'm asking because they think that I'm supposed to know. I'm gonna just have no shield up, and I'm gonna just be invulnerable and just ask questions and just be free and just be open to grow and have growth.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jay Skursky. Jay Skursky, my boy.
Hey, Dion, Matt Fairburn here. How are you?
What's up, Matt?
Nothing much. I know you guys don't have pads on yet, but I'm curious if you've noticed anything about AJ Epinesa since you guys have been back in the building. I know he's kind of changed his body a bit heading into year 2 here.
Yeah, so and that's funny, and that you mentioned AJ. I speak to AJ every day, obviously, and I compliment him every single day. Every single morning when I see him, when he's walking in from the weight room, every single morning, I said, "Dog, you look great. You put some weight on, you look great, kid. You look great." And then I asked him how does your body feel? He's like, "Man, I honestly like it." I said, "Yup, we do too." You know, so I just compliment him. He's taking reps against me, and I can physically feel the difference. Like he's not a feather anymore, and he's growing really, really well. And I'm very excited to see what AJ does next. But he took that first step, and that was to get his body and his weight right, and he's on the right course. And that's all that we can ask for as teammates, is just head in the right direction to better yourself and better the football team.
What do you remember about, certainly being a rookie is its own challenge, but there's also that challenge between year 1 and year 2. Everybody's expecting a big jump, and you have a whole off season. You don't really have the excuse of being a rookie again. So what do you remember about that for yourself, and maybe what you can expect from AJ in that regard?
Man, the sad thing is that there's statistics with first year to second year players that if you start off high, it kind of dips and comes back up. And, that's all a part of it. But I honestly think this is a fresh start for AJ. So he's a different AJ, just with a stronger mind. But as far as his presence in the football field, drastically different. And that's just from what he's been doing this offseason. So I have no idea. But I do think that it's going to be great, just because of the approach that he's taking already. And he's just doing it. And I know that I said it and before, but he has his best foot forward already, which puts him in a great margin of success because he did what he's supposed to do. And it should help him, and it will help him.
Thank you, Dion. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think Matt.
Hey, Vic, we're having trouble hearing you. All right, we're gonna move ahead to Dante here, and we'll try to get that squared away.
Dante.
Hey, Dion, how you doing? Good to see you.
What's up, my boy? How you doing, Dante?
I'm doing good, doing good. You talked earlier about the respect that you have for your coaches. How important is the continuity of the coaching staff to the players, and how does that translate to the success on the field?
Yo, Dante, I am shooting a blank. I don't know what the definition of continuity is. Can you help me?
Just all the coaches returning year after year. You have
facts.
People, you have Frazier. How does that help on the field?
Well, it helps because just from trust, knowing that what we're going to get in and out every day, we already know what to expect. We already know what makes the coaches mad, what makes them happy, and we know how to perform in the way that we're supposed to because our coaches have been with us for some time now. And it's always a good thing. It's kind of like having the same high school teacher for 2 years or 3 years, with having that teacher knows their students and we know our teachers. And it's just a good bounce back to learn and to be the best version of us.
Definitely. Thank you. Good to see you.
You're welcome.